when India became free, that night, the night of 14th of August 1947, no Indian had slept. Out of joy that we are today out of that slavery. 1,000 years of slavery had ended. The people were thrilled, joyous, happy, singing, dancing on the streets. And that great famous speech of Jawaharlal Nehru, it's called the Tryst with Destiny speech, which we all study as students in high school and in college. That great speech was being delivered by Nehru. People were really happy, celebrating all over the country. Well, this nation was celebrating that very important moment in our history. There were some people who were screaming, who were crying, who were desperate. They were not enjoying this great moment of freedom of our country. Instead, they were struggling to survive, running for their lives. They were not anti-freedom. They were not traitors. They were also like you and me. Just as we all wanted India's freedom, we all fought for India's freedom. They also wanted freedom of India. They also fought for freedom of India. Then why were they crying? The simple reason was, freedom came to us with one meaning. Freedom came to them with a totally different meaning. For us, freedom meant the end of 150 years of, or 190 years of the brutal British rule. For some, it is the end of centuries of foreign rule. A moment came when we were able to rule on our own self. We were becoming the drafters of destiny of our own lives. That was the meaning for most of us. But there were some in our country for whom freedom meant, independence meant looting of their houses, burning thereof their properties, killing of their loved ones, husbands killed, fathers killed, sons killed, brothers killed, raping of their women, uprooting from their places of birth overnight. That became the meaning of freedom for those people. They were helpless. When we became free, we all thought, oh, okay, now my country is free. But on this very same country, on this very same land, there were people who were told that this country on which you are standing, this land, this territory, this piece of land on which you are standing is no longer yours. Overnight, they became foreigners in their own country. What happened was, at that stroke of that midnight, India was divided into two countries, Hindustan and Pakistan. Those who were living in Pakistan, until then that was also part of this great country, Hindustan, India. For them, overnight, their land became foreign, or they became foreigners on their own land. Same thing happened to some people living on this side, in Punjab, in Bengal. Overnight, their territory became foreign to them. We created two independent countries in the name of independence by partitioning this great country of India. Partition did not happen peacefully, although some leaders tried to justify saying that, okay, you see, after all, we are all brothers, we are sharing our property. Of course, brothers share property, but brothers never share mothers. You don't cut your mother into two pieces and you take one piece and I take one piece. Country is like mother to us. We call it Bharat Mata. But country was partitioned and we tried to justify it. The fact is, the partition did not happen like even brothers sharing the property. Largely, when brothers share property, it happens in a peaceful manner. Largely. There will be disputes, but I'm generally talking. But in this case, rough estimates go that a minimum of 300,000 people were killed. 3 lakh people were killed in the name of India's partition. On that night, when we were all reveling in joy, rivers of blood were flowing on this land. Innocents were killed. 10 to 15 million people were uprooted from their own homes and hearths. They were overnight told, your country, this land became foreign, you go back to India.
Vistara News, ನಿಖರ ಜನಪರ.